It's week 6 of the National Football League, and we'll get a look here at Derrick Henry. He comes in 4th in the NFL in rushing touchdowns this year. It's the Thunderbirds and the Black Knights, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that. Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Rudolph. Now this aired out deep for Reed. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it. Hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Jalen Phillips, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack, and remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing 6'1" from Utah. It's Tyler Huntley.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Shelling through the defense. Taken down at the 30. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. The hat trick +1. 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Huntley to throw. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Henry. Touchdown. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run.
7-0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Black Knights offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. As we take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns, he is right up there amongst the best in the NFL. The offense now at the line ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
In motion right comes Reed.
And they'll fake the jet sweep there and instead hand it Kamara. Taken down at the 42.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 24 carries, 123 yards.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, that's certainly familiar. Kelsey making the catch and picking up a first down. And he continues to produce at a high level here in his 12th year in the NFL. He's topped 90 catches in each of the last 6 seasons. And barring something dramatic happening, there's a good chance he'll make it 7 straight when it's all said and done.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Rudolph looking to throw. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now on offense, you just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 1 yard to go on third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
And Jake Moody now on for the field goal.
It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They go play action with Huntley.
Steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue?
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt.
Back deep is Tyreek Hill. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Powering forward. Gets through, and now an opening.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
55 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara.
Down to about the 23.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
Now it's Rudolph.
It's a slant to Hill.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal.
Now Rudolph. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Alvin Kamara.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
Yeah, the man out of the backfield gets in for the score.
Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he fires one incomplete.
Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for.
And it's 3rd down and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Pushing his way through.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Set for the second quarter, San Diego in possession of the football. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Inside handoff, Henry. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Huntley off of play action.
Going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Now Huntley. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Henry. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
2nd and 4. They could still get a 1st down without scoring.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Thunderbirds are once again back in front. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
From the 35, here's 2nd and a yard.
Play action. It's Rudolph. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
Here's Rudolph. Escaping the pressure right. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Pulled in by Michael Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Rudolph just does beat the play clock. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Jalen Phillips able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Here's 2nd and 7.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18.
55 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10.
Looking to throw here, Huntley.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here's Huntley. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
To throw, Huntley. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Here's Huntley.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down. This quick pass complete to Sutton. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Hunt looks to throw.
Flush to his right.
Down the sideline he goes.
And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. They'll give Henry another shot. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run for it with Henry. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Thunderbirds go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen, put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. It was Derrick Henry, as he normally does, making his impact felt in that first half.
He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Thunderbirds offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
So they bring out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Rudolph.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And just like that, it's third down. Kamara up the middle. Breaks a tackle. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
77 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. They're going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Here's 2nd and 10.
A 10th carry for Kamara. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to build those nickel or sub packages.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And it's fielded at the 34.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Huntley working from the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he's got it down to the 28.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Delay of game penalty ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. Off play action. Huntley eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Sanders' kick is good, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Here's Rudolph. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. And that is incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Rudolph looking to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Rudolph now to throw.
And going deep for Hill. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. Out of the gun, Huntley. Man open downfield is Diggs. He's got it. Down to the 10. Touchdown! Stephon Diggs. 67 yards. And the Thunderbirds are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 10.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
93 yards rushing now for Kamara. It's a first down.
Now it's Rudolph.
And going deep for Hill.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 60 yards.
And the Black Knights are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. They'll try the right side with Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter.
Huntley to throw. That is caught. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
They give him 12 yards and a first down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. This is 2nd and 8. Now Huntley.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Huntley off of play action.
He'll buy, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Preston Smith in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The Black Knights offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay. And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Rudolph looking to throw. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is taken at the 18. 43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
They set up the screen for Henry. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Henry up the middle.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
A first down carry for Henry. A tough run, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback,
yeah,
you've got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
And Huntley showing that playmaking ability. Runs for the first and slides to a stop.
23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third. And under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. Not there, don't force the run.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back to the 8. Only a 3-yard loss there on the sack, but more importantly, it leads to a 4th and goal. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Sanders' kick is good.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. And they rattle off a big one. 47 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now Rudolph. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the offense going to use the first timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, possession switches hands. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Jerome Baker crashing downhill and getting the stop. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Henry. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Huntley now bootlegging it. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now, because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away, because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the home team here, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.